Howdy y'all, some of the frog level crew, Scottie, Ryan, and Marty won a draw hunt at Belfast Plantation, a South Carolina wildlife management area. Belfast Plantation was settled in 1785 by Colonel John Simpson. He named it Belfast for his hometown of Belfast, Ireland. His grandson, William Simpson, would actually go on to be governor of South Carolina in the late 1800s. International Paper bought the property in 2000 and then sold it to the South Carolina DNR in 2008. It's now 4,600 acres of hunting, hiking, horseback riding available to the public. There's even a rifle range and an archery range. If you want more information about this WMA and others in South Carolina, please visit the South Carolina DNR website. Once we found out we had won the draw hunt, we spent a couple of hot Saturdays in the woods scouting, looking for sign, and making plans. It was a 2.5-day hunt that we had in mid-October, and it began with a mandatory meeting at noon on the first day. The rules were pretty straightforward. You could get 2 deer, a buck and a doe, or 2 doe. The buck had to have at least 4 points on one side, and the minimum spread on the inside was 12 inches. One thing that's really nice about these draw hunts is you don't have to use your normal issue tags. They issue temporary tags for use on the property, and then they give you a permanent DQP tag to transport outside the property. If you're successful in your hunt, you get to put your grip and grin on the bulletin board. That's me there. That pictures for the Belfast adult draw hunt, the archery hunt, the youth hunt, and the Belfast wild turkey hunt. The hunting habitat was diverse. On this power line you could see a food plot to the right. There were open pines. There was a lot of elevation change and transition. Hardwoods that had acorns dropping and low-lying bottoms. There was well-maintained paths, but where it needed to be thick, they kept it thick. We did a lot of moving around and stayed mobile, Ryan and I in our saddles, Scottie in his climber, but they also had an opportunity to hunt ladder stands and permanent plots like this. There was even a graveyard in the Oak Ridge area where I shot my buck. Greatest thing though was the people that we met and the hunting stories that we heard.
You know, and I'm thinking like, dang, is this like a food plot trail? As I look to the left, there he is, 30 yards. There's that same 6 point. So I drop the pack again and low crawl across this trail, bust up on the other side of the berm, and there he is like 30 yards looking right at me, and I'm dead to rights on with the scope, look right at his, I got crosshairs right on his forehead, little tiny basket 6 point, and you're just like, yeah. Safety back on. Like,
I'll make a mistake.
Finger off the trigger. I was just watching him at this point. You know, I'm not going to get up, boogie, make him bust out of there, but he kind of looked at me, he didn't blow, and eventually just worked off, so I let him work off, went and got my bag, and started walking, and that was when I shot him. Across that path was on a nice gradual hill, what kind of way up on the top part. It was real open. I could see down to the other side, and all of a sudden I saw a body move, and I thought, that damn 6 point again. And I looked up, and I saw him turn his head, and I was like, that ain't the 6 point. And I dropped down to one knee, and he stopped between like 3 trees where his head, he couldn't even see me. And all I could see was that front shoulder right here, and then I saw him turn and look. I saw his head look right at me, and I was like, dude, you got 1 second to make it. Like, I was like, what are you waiting on? Click, bam! Yeah. I always say that to myself.
So now here's my hunt. The angle you see is the GoPro mounted to the barrel of my 270. The deer comes in on my left, but then the tree is in my way because I'm facing it in the saddle, so I have to bring it back around the tree. The buck is hooked back around behind this tree, and he's broadside to me, maybe at 20 yards. It looks further away on the GoPro. So I've got him in my sights, and then at the last second he turns. I waited for an hour or so, hoping maybe a doe would come by, and decided to go ahead and get down and start field dressing the deer. I had shot it for a 6, but it turned out being a 5, but it had the right spread on it. So I was able to field dress it right there, put my temporary tag on it, and waited for the guys to come and bring the deer cart. It took them a while.
Go to the right.
I was sitting
You see that tree down to the left? Just go around the opposite side of that tree, and he should be laying right in there. He's still ain't alive though.
No, I mean he's a good-bodied deer. Let me get one underneath him. That's wrong end shit.
I do have the bungee.
So I was set there. I think we do. I'd say it was about 7:20. There was a ruckus going on. I think there was a buck rubbing or doing something. I heard something behind me, and he came right up here, and then I lost him, and then he came back around, and he stood about here and stopped.
Oh damn, he's on top of you then.
Oh yeah, he was looking that way, looking this way, and I thought, he's picked up a scent. And then he moved from there. This looks like an old rub here. Old scrape, I mean. Yeah, he sniffed that. But I hadn't pulled. I had my rifle when I first saw him. I had my rifle in my hand, but I couldn't bring it up because
he was looking at
so close. He wasn't looking at me, but he was so close.
Any little noise would have been done.
Yeah, I didn't want to make any movement, and so he was moving this way. So he came down. Yeah, I shot him. He came around this tree. Well, he was quartering this way. I didn't shoot the shoulder like I thought I was going to shoot the shoulder, because he was almost broadside, but I was 8 inches back, and it went in, but he fell.
What time did you get it?
It's about 7:45. He came from behind me and then just stopped. About from, I don't know, me to that post over there, and then he just kept me, looked at an old scrape, sniffed it, and walked around, and he didn't go 3. .107 dress, 108 dress.
140 pound in, right?
Yeah, I'd say he's 2.5.
How old do you reckon?
That looks like you've done that before.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He's only 2.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, how can you tell that?
I was gonna say.
Just the order that the dentine wears compared to the enamel. So the dentine is this this brown inside of the white, and the enamel's the white. And if he was 3, this dentine would be wider than the enamel.
I got you, less pointy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Was that
it
right?
would be flatter, but what you're really going by is the width of this dentine versus the enamel.
I got you.
Wow.
Well, I don't, but
I didn't know how to.
I'll look it up.
Well, while you're around the next couple of days, if you're around,
Yeah.
I'll
Well, hopefully you'll pull one off mine, and we'll figure.